Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 12th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see our low pressure system off the coastline of Oregon moving into Northern California. We're going to be dealing with the wraparound effects of this moisture here. So you can kind of see how it rises up from the south and the southeast. That's what we call wraparound moisture when it comes on the backside of the low and swings back up across your area. So we are going to take a look at what this is going to bring us here over the next few days, how long it's going to be with us, and we'll take a look at next weekend. Looks like another trough, maybe trying to move through here, and we'll take a look at the extended forecast, as always, as we go through the video this morning. Now, lightning strike density potential, look out across Idaho and western Montana, eastern Idaho. Some plentiful lightning producers were moving through the area, and we also got some thunderstorm activity across portions of western Oregon, western Washington, just off to the east and northeast of Seattle, near the King, Snohomish County line there. Had some pretty good amount of lightning strike activity there. Had a couple of thunderstorms there near the Oregon-Washington border, very close to the I-5 corridor as well. Now, looking at SeaTac, only 2/100 of an inch of rain, though, but it is the first measurable rain so far for the month of May. We are still quite a ways behind normal for the month of April and May. Things are very dry out there. I actually cleaned my mom's gutters yesterday, and I've never seen the gutters so completely tinder dry here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it's not a very scientific study there, but it was very unusual, and I thought that was quite notable. Now, taking a look here, we do have some light rain at Salem, Portland. We got some moderate rain for the Oregon coast. Looks like Redmond is actually light rain right now as well. Not too many rain reports. Actually, OMAC is reporting a little bit of light rain here the last hour as well. But you can kind of see the spin in the atmosphere over Oregon. You see some of the precipitation happening across the interior of British Columbia as well. And some of Alberta out there. Now, taking a look here at the Patreon page, if you guys want to send me media, this is probably the best way to do it. It is free to join the Patreon page. I think there was some confusion about that. You don't have to pay. There is a public version of it where you can view my daily videos, and you can come in here and chat and send me media and all kinds of that fun stuff. So yeah, you don't have to pay to play to do that. It's only if you want to help support the channel that you would need to do anything like that. So looking at Spokane here, you can see Monday and Tuesday. That's what we're going to worry about right now, because I don't know if they confused Wednesday with Saturday there, but kind of an interesting thing. But we can discount that because today is Monday and tomorrow is Tuesday, and that's plenty of forecast for us, right? Showers and thunderstorms for the next couple of days coming up here. I'll show you more on that here in a moment, starting right now. In fact, Storm Prediction Center. Look at that. You can see this does include some of western Washington, western Oregon, eastern Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Panhandle, and western Montana. This is mainly a wind threat here across portions of northeast Montana. Here's day 2. It pushes off to the east, still wrapping around. It's going to be with us. And day 3, you notice it still includes Spokane and clips northeast Oregon as well. Now, if we take a look at where we are as we speak, there is this upper level low that we are dealing with here, and that is pushing off to the east kind of slowly. You know, by the time we get towards Wednesday, it's right there. And we have this next bit of a height fall here across western Canada there, kind of keeping things in a westerly onshore flow. You can see the lower heights across the Gulf of Alaska and western Canada kind of continue as we go through this week. And then the next trough kind of sits down across the area. It's not exceptionally strong, but that could bring some additional rainfall amounts for some of the Pacific Northwest as we go on in towards next weekend. And actually, if this comes through like this, I may actually go out and chase here across the plains for a couple of days. That would be a nice trough and maybe some moisture out there as well. So I'll let you know how that goes, and I'll be doing my briefings on the road if that does happen. Now, this is the high resolution rapid refresh. This is what the lightning potential looks like for today. So as you go through this afternoon, you can see a couple thunderstorms across the Olympic Peninsula and maybe, the Kitsap Peninsula there, maybe Gig Harbor. You can't rule that out. Oregon looks like the lion's share of lightning activity at northeast Washington. Watch out as well, some of the Idaho Panhandle. And then we go on into the evening hours. That kind of wraps up for the most part. And then we go on in through the day on Tuesday. And you can kind of see the spin in the atmosphere here. Another round of thunderstorms here for eastern Washington on the day Tuesday. Idaho, some eastern Oregon as well. And then this system slowly moving off to the east. Probably some additional wraparound storms there as we go through the day Wednesday. A little bit closer of a look here. I wanted to kind of highlight on Tuesday. You can see that across eastern Washington, a pretty good signal there for some thunderstorm activity. And if we back up all the way to today, you can see it does show that lightning potential across some portions of Vancouver Island, Olympic Peninsula, Kitsap Peninsula, and again, mainly across portions of Oregon. Now, looking at the North American model, this is composite reflectivity. This is what the Doppler radar may look like here over the next 60 hours. And again, you can see the spin in the atmosphere. Precipitation amounts definitely favoring portions of Oregon today. Check out this band here setting up across some of the higher terrain of northeast Oregon as well. Some moisture across Idaho. And then you can kind of see as we go on in through Tuesday, that system is still spinning there across Idaho, and there'll still be some wraparound moistures associated with this. Wraparound showers associated with this, I should say. Now, taking a look at total precipitation in inches. So again, the lion's share of precipitation the next couple of days is staying down into Oregon. So western Oregon, all my viewers down there, the Willamette Valley, the Rogue Valley out there, watch out southwest Oregon as well. You're looking between, some places are going to be between a quarter to a half an inch, some places a half an inch to an inch of precipitation, and not as much for Seattle, Everett, Bellingham, southwest BC, as you can see, the Columbia Basin. As we scroll off in towards the mid portion of this week, though, it does show a little bit of a bump of precipitation here for Wednesday morning for SeaTac. It bumps them up to about 0.14 of an inch. Not a lot of precipitation, but we'll definitely take it here when this exceedingly dry April and May has visited us. And then we go towards this weekend, it shows a little bit more here as well. So we'll definitely take whatever we can get, because we have been well below average since April 1st across the Pacific Northwest. And as far as snowfall across the higher terrain, this is the last 24 hours as of about very early Tuesday morning. So you can kind of see the forecast there. Some for portions of Oregon, much less for Washington, maybe the North Cascades there, Okanagan Highlands. We're getting a few inches of snowfall. And then as we go on in through Wednesday into Thursday, you can see a decent snowfall there for portions of southwest Montana, some of Yellowstone also. And then we scroll towards the end of the week and kind of see not much in the way of snowfall here as we go towards the end of the week for Washington. Some of the higher terrain of British Columbia picking up a few inches, but not much to write home about. Now, taking a look at the artificial intelligence, this is the system we are dealing with now. Then we take a look to see what has come. Another lobe kind of swings by here. And then we deal with this next trough as we go through next week. And you see the big ridge axis out of the Pacific Ocean here, allowing for this trough to be across the Pacific Northwest as we go through next week. And that's what I would be chasing out across the plains as another temporary, kind of a transient ridge tries to build a little bit there. But again, those height falls are not far away. And then we get a bit of this ridge that's been showing in the extended forecast, but we're not going to worry about that too much, because as you can see, it's backed off from what it was showing yesterday. It had this trough a bit further out into the ridge more developed here across Pacific Northwest, so we're not going to worry about that too much at this point. Now, taking a look here at the 15-day precipitation anomaly, and this is really been doing quite well here. It's been predicting below normal precipitation for much of the region for some time now, and it's, and that's where we've been. And sometimes the Climate Prediction Center has not been agreeing with this. That's why I've been going with the European Artificial Intelligence. But you can see for the next 15 days, still below normal here across a lot of Washington, Oregon. A little bit of a different story there as we continue those westerlies and those lower heights there. Some troughing out there across western Canada may keep things above normal. And if we look at daily 2-meter max temperature, this is today, Monday, May 12th. See Seattle mid-60s there. A little bit chillier here across Oregon because you got most of the cloud cover and precipitation occurring down there. I think Boise up towards 70, some 70s out there. Maybe Yakima and the Tri-Cities out there as well, some of the Columbia River Basin. And we go to Tuesday. A little bit of a bump in the temperatures there. And then we get a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next trough rolling in. How much is that going to suppress our temperatures? All good questions. We'll continue to monitor that and break it down as we go. But yeah, go on into the extended forecast. No major warm up. We do bounce back a little bit here towards the end of the forecast. Now, this is since the beginning of the year. You can see Washington well below normal for virtually the entire state. Oregon, kind of a mixed bag there as well. But a lot of these areas here, I'd be caution with some of that because it doesn't take much precipitation to kind of skew that as well. But if we go to just Washington, you can see that some of the Seattle Metro, man, is between 50 and 70% of normal, quite a bit below normal since the new year. You don't really expect that too much because we kind of been in this La Nina flavor of the atmosphere, even though I don't know that it'll be officially classified as a La Nina. It was very close, but it might just be a cooler, neutral year when all is said and done. And then we go to January 1st here across Oregon, kind of see, again, the mixed bag, but Northwest Oregon definitely below normal, and here's Idaho as well. Now, looking at the entire Pacific Northwest, April 1st through May 10th. I mean, the signal is strong. A lot of areas here are between 25, 50. Some places are between 5 and 25% of normal precipitation since April 1st. Very dry signal. Do not like to see that at all. Some of the Puget Sound, some of the North Puget Sound between 25 and 50. And look at Western Oregon, just solidly between the 25th and the 50th percentile here since April 1st. And this is the next 46 days as well. So that is not a good look here heading on in towards the summer months. So what is it? Meteorological summer actually starts here in about, 3 weeks or so. But that is not a good signal here, folks. So we got to kind of pay attention to fire danger. And even if things are abnormally dry or we have favorable conditions for fire development, still things have to line up. There still has to be the fire starts. Sometimes lightning strikes can do it. Sometimes human activity can do it. So you can make a difference if you can avoid starting wildfires off in our grasslands or our forested areas. Just because we have exceptional fire conditions does not mean we are going to have giant fires here. So we do have a say in that, as a lot of these fires are human caused. Now looking at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, there's a below normal signal there as we go through May 21st. There's above normal here, but again, that's at odds with the European Artificial Intelligence, which has been kind of dominating the Climate Prediction Center's predictions. So anyway, what else? We'll do this all again tomorrow. Eyes on the sky today. Watch out for some of that thunderstorm activity, and I will talk to you guys later.